there's gonna be times on your journey where you're gonna be alone because people don't see your vision. They don't understand where you're going at. Look at Christ, the story of Christ. We had all the disciples following him, but what, it was two of them that was the closest that he was able to trust and didn't turn on him. It was like two or three, right? So if Christ himself was a figure that they saw him do all miracles and stuff, but again, he only had like two or three people. What makes you think that you ain't gonna lose people on the journey too? Success comes with a price when you want something in life. And I'm not talking about sacrificing something, but you are gonna have to sacrifice a few things. Your enjoyment of pleasures, your enjoyment of entertainment, the people, the distractions, being disciplined, all of these different things that are gonna require you in order to get to your goals and have success. You're gonna have to really focus in. The quarter of a year is already gone. You have 75% left of the year. What are you going to do with that 75%? Are you going to waste it, go out and do things because your friends tell you should and you should go have fun? Granted, you should, when you need a break, you need a break. But if you haven't put the work in, not even for these first 3 months of the year, you should not be thinking about anything about going out having fun or playing games, none of that. Put that off to the side and really say, hey, I need to focus on me so I can build me a better future, right? So the present me can have a better future. You might have just a short-term goal. It might be a long-term goal. It might be a goal that's not even that long, but still a good distance. This is so important to have yourself anchor in a moment, be in the moment and say, all right, I'm not going to be doing all this stuff. I'm going to chill out and I'm going to focus on me. You have to be selfish in that way. All the people who are successful, all the champions who was obsessed with a specific goal, everybody who was successful in their own craft, in their own way of goals, they had to put things off to the side and say, this is what I'm doing. And I'm committing to this no matter what. It was a quote from Will Smith where he talks about, I think it was an interview or something, where he said, he was like, that person might be better than me on the treadmill, but one thing for sure, I would not get off that treadmill. I would die running on that treadmill before I give up. It's a little bit extreme, yes, but he made his point. You want to be able to say, hey, I'm so willing to go to the extreme for my goal. Not in the point where you sabotaging people or you doing harmful things. No, I just had to clarify that. But you want to really be so hyper obsessive about what you want to do in this life. You know what I'm saying? And how you going to achieve that in a way of purpose, And again, it takes a lot. Like, there's going to be times on your journey where you're going to be alone because people don't see your vision. They don't understand where you're going at. I've lost close connections with people I was close to because we kind of drift away. And, even though I've tried to reach out and still stay in contact in ways, it's just when you begin to grow in different perspectives and your priorities is different from another person and y'all both have different sections of what you deem important in life and morals, yeah, it's gonna change. You're gonna drop off some people that are not gonna be along with you in the journey. If you had 10 people who with you in the journey, only like 2 are gonna probably be along with you. Look at Christ, the story of Christ. We had all the disciples following him, but what, it was 2 of them that was the closest that he was able to trust and didn't turn on him. It was like 2 or 3, right? So if Christ himself was a figure that they saw him do all miracles and stuff, but again, he only had like 2 or 3 people. What makes you think that you ain't gonna lose people on the journey too? And that's just real stuff, It's real life. That's life. It's life. But you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Don't tell yourself that you can't do it. Don't tell yourself that you can't lock in, that you can't go and achieve these goals, that you can't go make impact, that you can't get to where you can be at so you can make impact for others that you care about, right? You might be the person that the family can only depend on. It's going to be a season where you got to be selfish for now so you can go back and help them. It might be for your friends. It might just be for you and your family inside the household. It might be some close friends. It might be the city you trying to, you know what I'm saying? You never know what you could do. You never know what you could do. I always say this. I would never try to judge a book by its cover. I've always been a type of person, especially, I never treat a person based off how they were, how they talk, how they look, none of that. You know why? Because I experienced it. I know how that feels. And number two, you never know what a person is capable of doing purpose wise, their purpose, their story, who they are. You don't know them fully. You wasn't there from the beginning to end. You only been there for a small percentage. You might just now met that person and you don't know what they're capable of doing. They could be the ones to actually come up with a cure or whatever the case might be. But again, I never judge a book by its cover. Now if you move it kind of sketchy, I'm gonna still be aware. I'm just telling you that now. I'm gonna be aware. I'm gonna kind of like, but I'm just talking about in general as a normal person. It's like, hey, right, and still I keep my boundaries up. I'm a type of person who also keep my boundaries. I let me talk about that too. I'm a person that keep my boundaries. So I'm not just a type of person who just all willy nilly just be around. I'm a very private person. I really let people come over my house at all. It's just me and my wife. Seriously, I'm a alone person. I prefer to do that because there's too much stuff going on. But what I'm talking about is understanding about your purpose and your goal and what you want to be in life, right? You can't allow yourself to be deterred away and allow people to discourage you. It's gonna take a lot because when you start getting on this journey and you start really doing what you're supposed to do in your purpose, all hell is gonna break. I'm telling you, all hell is gonna break for a couple times, a good amount of times. It feels like 30% good things work, and then 70% the other bad things just go against you. And you gotta continue to be resilient and fight against that current of that situations, and just stay firm, stay believing, stay moving in the direction that God or that's been put in your heart. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? So again, it takes a lot of courage to see a vision that most people don't see and to go act upon it. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of faith. But if you seek after that courage and faith and say, hey, I feel fear in it, but I know on the other side I'm gonna be all right. As long as do step by step and I follow the directions that I need to get there, I'm gonna be good. Right? I'm gonna be good. And that's what you have to do. Like it's like I said, you want to focus in. It's gonna come a lot of sacrifice. You want to pull all the distractions away, and until you get to a point where you can balance it. I'm not saying you should just completely make your life miserable in hell and you can't enjoy life. There are gonna be times where you need a balance in some areas so that way you don't burn out. But a lot of times we haven't even got to that point yet. You haven't even got to that point yet. Some of you have not got to that point. So time goes by like this, a snap of the finger. It do. Do you want to forfeit your youth and your time? I don't care if you're 50. I still say that's your youth. Because as long as you living on this earth, as long as you living on this earth, you have something to provide to the world. You have something to provide to this world. You have something that you can do. You still have time. You still have time. Man, Colonel Sanders, whatever his name is, the one that made KFC, the dude was 70 years old, 80, 70 years old. He was like 70 or 80. And now, since he been gone, it's over trillions of dollar company, $1 billion company selling chicken. If Cardinal Sanders, whatever his name is, can do that, then and he was 70, and I mean, that wasn't even the advanced time when internet came around. It wasn't even that advanced. We got the tools for internet and all that, right? Sacrifice. Sacrifice. Whatever it is, you know what it is. You know what it is. Whatever is put on your heart, you gotta let it go. Sacrifice it. Get away from you. Put it off to timeout. Put it in timeout for now. Put it in timeout. Focus on you because you owe you. You owe yourself better. We all do. But you can't get to a better position if you don't believe it and if you're not taking the initial steps to surround yourself in the right environment to focus. So I hope that helped out. And yeah, if you like this, hit the subscribe button, comment down what's your thoughts, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.